Welcome back. I'm Pete, and you're watching the Custom Car Channel. But we're going to work on a Bobcat today, and it's going to be awesome. Since this one's a Silverado, maybe you guys could just call me the Silverado man. Hey guys, welcome back. I got a 2000 Buick LeSabre in today. Customer complaint is it leaks gas when he fills it up. So we're going to use the smoke machine. I'm going to get that hooked up. So it's a 2000 Buick LeSabre. It's got the 3800, which they all do. This is non-supercharged. It's got 172,351 miles, and she's in pretty good shape for a 24-year-old car. So I haven't opened the fuel door yet, so we're just going to do it all together. So I'm going to get the smoke machine, and this is the Solary. So I got this thing ready. I got a battery. This thing has its a built-in air pump, and we did the video where we put in the Power Plus, so it's still red. It hasn't settled out or anything. So I'm going to see if it smells like cherries today. Yeah, I'll move you guys like right over here. It's not too bad yet. There's a little bit of a bubble in there for it's rusting out a little bit. Yeah, it looks good up here. Hopefully we can get a good seal. Doesn't look like I'm going to get a perfect seal, but it's going to be good enough. So I'm going to turn on the smoke machine. I'll turn on the air mode. I'll turn on the smoke. Let's see how quickly it smokes. I can see smoke. Pretty cool. Okay. Yeah, it's not making a perfect seal. We may have to do something different, but for right now, we're going to try that. I think it's a pretty good leak. So what I'm going to do is just for right now, I'm going to shut this off. I'm going to lift up the car. I just set the hoist, and I haven't lifted it yet. So, but I did look under there. It doesn't look rusted to me. Not too bad anyway. So let's find out. All right, so far so good. Let me get a light. Okay, I'm gonna turn the smoke mode back on. Looks like there's a panel in here we can take off. I'll move you guys closer. I mean, I'm not seeing nothing come out where it ain't supposed to yet. But it looks like we could take this panel off here somehow. I'm going to get a little screwdriver so I don't break it. Okay, I could see. I don't see any smoke. Maybe that's just a water trail. That thing's putting out a lot of smoke. Maybe that's too much, huh? And it does smell like roasted cherries. But so far, I'm gonna let the car down a little bit. So far, I don't see where it's leaking yet. Let me just take a quick look underneath. It's hard for me to tell, but I think the smoke is coming from the top of the tank. I think what I want to do is I want to get a better fixing on that seal. So we're leaking out too much smoke. So I'm gonna let it down. It is kind of a little rusty inside there. I don't know if you guys can see any of that. But so far, I'm not seeing any smoke. Let me let it down. Let me let it down, and we'll seal this up better right here. So I think we need to go around here somehow. I'm gonna see if I can find a piece of hose. Alright guys, I found something, an old CV axle boot I saved, and I cut it shorter. It sealed it up a lot better. There is a slight leak down here, but I don't think that's the problem, but there is a leak there. There is a problem inside. Okay, I went and got a little pry bar, and I brought the smoke machine right into the back of the trunk. I'll turn the smoke mode back on. Let's take this off. I think they just pop out of there. Could be wrong. Yep, it's not leaking here. So it's got to be, let me get a plug for that. And she's leaking around the seal. Alright guys, I got to pull that out anyways because the fuel level sensor is not reading correctly. And I got to diagnose that too. Alright, that's cool. We found it. Looks like that ring. It's probably going to be okay, but everything looks a little rusty around here. So, we're getting maximum flow on the smoke machine. There's too big of a leak. The car detects that the gas cap is off or loose, it says. But that's too much flow. So yeah, if I pinch off the line, yeah, the flow goes to 0. The pressure, I set the pressure at 1 psi. Okay. Whoops. Leave that back on. All right, I'm gonna get ready and pull that apart, and I guess I could bring you guys along. So I'm gonna keep the camera on. I could probably put the car on the ground at this point. So I think the first thing we want to do is unhook these fuel lines. And I better get a rag. Alright, so I did grab a couple of rags. Just in case something happens, like we get a lot of fuel spray. And we are working in the guy's trunk, and this car is fairly nice. That's kind of on there. We get a pliers, some kind of a pliers. I can shut that smoke machine off right now. Alright, I got them popped. Oh yeah. I'm just going to throw a rag over the top. I slipped. I got that one. I can't get it to pry back far enough. Let's try to get the other one off. Alright, got them popped. Alright, I was able to get that one. I'm going to have to... We probably don't have to get the other one off. I'm going to stuff these wires out of the way if I can. Alright, looks like we got access now. I'm going to sop up some of this fuel. So I wonder if the gasket's bad, or... I don't know. The guy said he thinks there's like 5 gallons in the tank. He ran it pretty empty for me. Pretty nice guy. And I just bought this tool. Let's see if we can make this thing work. Alright, I'm just going to hold it on there and I'm going to try to ratchet this off. Easy peasy. Okay. This damn thing even come out of there? It's swollen up? Yeah, the gasket is swelled up. There we go. Well, this thing's gonna be full of gasoline. So I'm gonna set it right there. I'm gonna go get a pan. Yeah, so I think the sending unit body itself is good, but there's something wrong with the fuel gauge, so I'm gonna go get my meter and we're gonna read that a little bit, and then I'm gonna have to go back to the car and verify the gauge goes from full to empty. So I think the simplest thing might be just to order a new fuel sending unit, fuel pump assembly. So I just went and got I don't even know how you went and got the eng meter. Hopefully it's charged up. And this thing will auto detect whatever we're doing for the most part. The whole point was for me to have this so you guys could see it. So I just went and got a couple probes. Yeah, see, it's auto detecting. So let's measure this, and we're in the empty position right now, and 54.8 ohms. Let's see if we can put it in the halfway. $144. Down to 40, and it's thinking it's almost shorted out. 40 ohms. I've lost connection there a second. So at the very empty, it's shorted out. Maybe that's how it's supposed to be. Seems like this is working. Alright, now we need to go verify that if we short them wires out or open them up, the gauge is either going to go to full or empty. And to be safe about it, I'm going to pull up a wiring diagram. So I'm going to move you guys back there or somewhere, and then I'm going to look that up. Alright guys, I'm not going to print the diagram off. I'll just... it's a black, white, and purple wire is the one we're looking for. A black and white. A black with a white tracer. And a purple wire for the fuel gauge. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go in there, turn the key on, and see where the gauge is at. Okay, I'm going to try to move you guys closer, but with the key on and the fuel sending unit unplugged. So I think you can see it. It's there kind of by the check engine light. I'm going to go back into the trunk, and then I'm going to short the two wires out. Alright, I shorted them out, and I believe it pegged all the way So the purple wire is the sensor ground. I'm just gonna hook into the black and the white wire, and then I'm gonna ground the other side of my jumper wire to a ground. Okay, so I was just playing around with it, and it does. The wiring's good. It just needs some type of a resistance to be able to go to the full. So I'm gonna order a new sending unit, and that'll go ahead and take care of, we'll get a new O-ring and the gas gauge. So I'm gonna order that, and I'm gonna go to lunch, and then I'll be right back. All right, guys. So I ordered a new one, but this connector, I tried to find one. Even the genuine GM one, has an oval connector. It's not compatible. You have to splice the wires. Not very happy about that. So instead of paying $300 additionally over the top of the cheap one, I just got the cheap one. And another reason I have to replace it, I mean, you don't have to, but can you see the wires? Yeah, right there. Well, anyways, these wires are all split open. So here's the original gasket, and you can kind of see, yeah, right there, it's kind of deformed. It's swollen up. So that's why the smoke was coming out of there. Let's just see what we got. So I ordered, they just showed up. I got the Master Pro. It's an MPA 346. Let's see what we got in here. So, got a float. Here's that oval connector I was talking about. We're going to splice it in there. Some instructions. And here she is. Oh, we got a couple different gaskets here. We'll have to determine which one of those we're going to use. Yeah, it's got an oval connector. I don't know why they got to change that. Even the AC Delco, no, it was a genuine GM one I looked at. I couldn't get access to a Delphi one, so I didn't even look at those. There's a bunch of tags on here. The pump needs to be primed. It's a caution one. We need to prime it. It's got dual stage filtration design. Exterior screen, interior strainer. So it's got external screen and an internal strainer. So we need to prime this pump, we need to refill the tank with a minimum of 10 gallons of filtered gasoline. Cycle the ignition on and off 3-second intervals for 15 to 20 cycles. I bet you we can do it in 2. Okay. Well, let's put this thing together. So this thing is going to have to go on here. Looks like it can only go on one way. I'm going to get a little pliers so I don't break this. And we're going to have to reuse the locking ring. Okay, so I'm just going to squeeze it. Let's get my nail nose in here. So line it up. I'm just going to give it a little squeeze. Yeah, it's in there. It went in pretty easily. Alright, let's get over here. Okay, it kind of looks like we need to clean this out. I thought I had that stuff back under there so it couldn't come out. Alright, that looks pretty good. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna get some grease and put it right around there. Okay, I decided that we should use some Parker O-ring lube. Let's go get the gaskets. So I'm pretty sure the gasket we need is this one. You know, I see it's gonna be a pain to get that to stay down. This gasket, yeah, this gasket is not the right one. So the O-ring lube will help stick that gasket down there. Some thick, this is pretty thick stuff. It's made for O-rings. I don't know where I got it. So we're just gonna paint some of this right in there. Yeah, somehow. I'm not worried about if I get too much in there or anything like that. It ain't gonna hurt a thing. And this will help it seal also. And it's gonna help us stick that gasket in there. The O-ring. It's kind of like some stringy kind of stuff. Alright, I think that's enough. So let's get this gasket O-ring, or what? I think it's a gasket, I don't know. O-ring down to exactly where it goes. Need to move my light. Yep, that's the problem. Let me get a little more. I didn't get enough right in this one area. That should do it. Oh yeah. She's sitting in there perfectly. Whether or not it's going to stay there, we can only hope so. I think I'll put a little of this on the other side too. Maybe that's a bad idea, but I don't know. Just a film. Okay, I noticed something. I think why they want us to prime it so much is because there's no like traditional screen down here. So this has got to fill up. Alright, so we got to get this down in there first. Just like that. Make sure the gasket's still down there. I keep calling it a gasket, but that's what I'm going to do. We kind of want to get this into there. Alright, I'm happy with that. Let's twist this ring, get it started. I believe it started. So now we got to twist the ring. Okay, I think I need to relocate one of these. I know we got it off of there, but I can't get it back on. Pretty nice little tool. I'm glad I bought it. Never had one of these before, but it makes it a lot easier. So we're just going to grab it. I'm not sure that's going to work either. I see. It wasn't all the way locked down before. So that's another problem. Yeah, without the third one on there, I'm having a hard time. I think we can make it now. Let me put it back the way it was. So we just found another problem. That's pretty interesting that it wasn't, I guess I wasn't paying attention, but it wasn't all the way locked in. Alright. So it looks like we could put it right here, just like that. And you don't want to slip. Which I feel like I'm going to slip. Can we get another bite on it over here? And I think we can get another bite on it right. Ooh, no, I can't get right there. Alright, I'm going to go get a channel locks, and we're going to try to do something. Well, the gasket's in there the same, looking all the way around. This looks a little funny. So what I'll do is I'll take my channel locks and I'll squeeze each one of these and try not to pinch my fingers. I need a bigger one. We're getting it. Almost got it. Alright, that one's in. There. That's it. I almost acted like this thing turned a little bit on me. Alright, well, it looks like we forgot to put those clips on. I believe that whole unit turned on me a little bit. I don't know if that's going to cause a problem. I went and peeled the clips off the old one. Alright, I was able to get it snapped on there. I'm positive it's all the way on. That one too. Now, that one plugs in. This is the one we're going to have to change. I'm going to fire up the smoke machine and see if we get any leaks. Okay, they didn't give me any wiring instructions except pin 1 goes to pin 1, pin 2 goes to pin 2, etc, etc, etc. So we're doing good as far as smoke. Alright guys, I still don't know which wire we gotta put where. I did look, there's no pin 1 to pin 1, there's no markings. I'm going to see if I can pull up a diagram online, I guess. I do know which ones are the fuel gauge. So that's a gray. I mean, they're all color-coded the same. This one's marked A, B, C, and D. So A would be brown. Okay, that's the gray. Yeah, so that's not the same. I know. Gray, that's the purple. So A is purple. And that's what I would call pin 3 on here. I'm gonna go see if I find the wiring diagram. I'll be right back. Alright, the best I can find online is the 2 big ones are the power. So just hook them up to exactly the same color to color code is what I found. And we'll cut this one off a little bit shorter. So I didn't see no leaks when we had the smoke machine on there, although it still was flowing according to the flow meter. So I don't know. If something else is wrong, we'll have to fix it another time. Hopefully everything will be okay. I'm going to let him have his car back regardless tonight. I only scheduled this for one day. Alright, I'm going to go get a heat gun. I think we'll tape this up too. Using some Tessa tape. Alright, that looks good enough for me. She's plugged in. I'm going to go cycle the key a few times and we'll make sure there's no leaks. And then we'll pop the cover on. And we'll call it good. Alright, I heard her run. I don't see no leaks. I'm going to go do it a couple more times. Alright, she's running. I don't see no leaks or anything. Let's pop this back on really quickly. And I see the gas gauge is working. It's got in between quarter and empty. Which the guy said there was like 5 gallons in there, so that's probably right on the money. It's good for me. Alright guys, let's get these codes read and cleared. Take it for a drive. We're gonna go put some gas in it. We're gonna fill her up. I don't know if we'll fill it all the way up, but we're gonna fill it up a ways. I think we'll put 20 bucks in. That sounds good to me. So scanner went dead on me. It's not gonna auto ID. I had to punch in the VIN manually. That's kinda, I don't like that, but this is an older car, so it's got it. Let's go in the diagnostics. It's without air pump. It's a limited. Come on, you can do it. I know you can. I don't know what it's waiting for. Well. Alright, let's do a smart detection. Powertrain systems, 4 codes. I would just assume that we generated some of those codes. I did not check it. The search engine light was on when I brought it in, and it said check. It says gas cap loose, check cap. So I'd like to see if we could clear that message somehow and drive it long enough that we probably won't be able to drive it long enough. At least like to turn it off now, clear everything out. Put some gas in it, make sure it don't leak. Make sure we can put gas in it at full stream, and we're gonna send it. Yeah, she's slow poking today. Okay, let's go to the report. Well, it's got an evap. Of course it would. Yeah, a couple for the fuel level sender. I think we got all that fixed. Rear integration module level control exhaust valve circuit malfunction. That's a new one for me. Driver's front vertical sensor circuit performance. Driver's rear vertical sensor circuit performance. Alright, we'll save this. And then we got a backup on this scanner. Clear DTCs. One thing nice about this one, it just clears the modules that have codes. The snap-on will clear every module. At least the Zeus does. Which is I think that it's a waste. It takes so long, especially when there's 30 modules or 40 modules or whatever. Some cars have a list of modules you would not believe. Okay, they all passed right now. Let's go on a test drive. Alright, so let's go up to the gas station. And I'm going to leave you guys in the car, but I'm just going to put 20 bucks in. Maybe not quite used to driving one of these, but it seems like our lights are kind of tipped to the ground. Well, she's a pretty nice running car. I don't hear no clunks or anything. This one's made it. So right now the gas gauge is right at the... Can you guys see that? Right here? Yeah. So this top one right here is the gas gauge. And she's right in the orange right now. And it looks like I put in gas from the driver's side. So we can just drive right in here. This way. And I will shut the car off. I don't want to pull any gas cap or evap codes. I think the racket pinion's going out. A little vibration on the turn there. right here. There we go. So I'll be right back. Alright, I filled her all the way up. It was $47 and something. Oh yeah, she's on the full. And she took gas. She took it full stream, and I was watching it. Okay. And I found out why the ass end of this car feels like it's up so high. And I knew this from when I had it on the hoist anyways. But they have eliminated the air suspension and put spring suspension in there. So there's coil-over shocks on the back. And she's up a little bit too high, I think. But we could take the torch and we could heat those. I'm just kidding. We won't do that. Let's just go for a drive. And then we'll head back. And then we'll call this guy, tell him we got his car fixed. How sweet is that? Alright, I'm going to quit talking and we're going to go for a short drive. Make sure everything feels okay on this beast. It's not a beast, it's a gem. We'll make sure everything feels okay on this gem and send her on its way. Send her on its way. Alright guys, there you go. We got the gas leak fixed. You know, that smoke machine, she really worked good. And oops, there goes that. And we fixed the fuel gauge. So yeah, I didn't tell you about that at first, but he wanted to know if I could look into it, and I sure did. And thankfully, that smoke machine helped us out for the fuel tank leak. She's all good now, and yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and you can catch me next time.